X. Okay, I know many of you are going to be able to solve this problem, but take it easy because we're going to go to the harder problems very quick. Okay, so take it easy, read this problem, right? Find the number. You're asked to find the number. So all you got to do is let this number be equal to X. Okay, so read this problem and then we're going to solve it together. And those of you who already know how to solve it can post your answers here. CG, well done. Jovina, well done. Good to see you, Jovina. Griffin, awesome. Safia's good. Christiana, excellent. Jasmine, nice to see you again. Tumi, nice to see you. All right, welcome. Welcome to the session. All right, so cool. That's great, right? For those of you who are trying to solve this, even those who have solved this, just watch it for once, because then the other problems will become easier, right? Anytime you're asked to find the number, usually you're going to take that to be the X, right? And then what you're going to do, well done, Queen Lee and Ash. So what you're going to do now, there is a number such that 3 times the number, right? So there's a number X, such that 3 times the number minus 6. So what do? 3 times the number, right? Just try to read this. 3 times the number, right? That's 3x minus 6, right? Is equal to 45, right? This is the most important part. As you know, this is called setting the equation, right? You set the equation, right? This way, 3 times the number. So anytime you see times, you're going to put it over here, right? 3 times the number, which is 3 into x minus 6. I know this could be easy for many of you, but just pay attention. We're going to go to the harder problems. Is equal to, that's easy. Just put an equal to 45, right? And then you add 6 to both sides, right? This part is solving it, right? And then you've got 51 and you got 3x. And then what do? You divide by 3 here, right? This 3 cancels out as 17, right? And now you can actually check it. Remember, checking is so important in these, right? Many of you are going to solve this problem and move on to the next one, but you are going to make careless mistakes, right? So it's very, very important that you actually check what you're doing, right? So now you've got x to be equal to 17. You're going to plug it inside here. 3 times 17, right? 3 times the number 17, which is 51 minus 6 is equal to 45. So everything checks out and you're good. And now you can move on to the next problem, right? So that's how you're going to do it. All right. So now what we're going to do is let's move on to the next problem here. Let's move on to this problem, folks. Well done solving this problem. Excellent job. Let's move on to this next one now. Okay, and then we are going to solve more problems, right? We're going to solve even more problems with data, probability, geometry, all of them, all of the word problems. Okay, but remember, this is the most important, the most basic one. Okay, try it. CG, very cool, very good. So you're asked to find the numbers. Now there's 2 ways to do it, but yep, try it. Well done, Nadira. Welcome, Nadira. All right, sum of 2 numbers is 41. Excellent. So how do you solve it, right? I'm going to show you in one quick second. Christiana, nice. Safia's excellent job. So remember, you can do it 2 ways. You can think of them as x and y, right? And you're given now, how do you do it? You take this, sum of 2 numbers is 41. Now, those of who actually can solve this, I'm going to give you the next problem here. I'm not going to solve it. This is a slightly harder problem, okay? So try this next problem for those of you who already can solve what I have posted here. This is only for those who've gotten these answers, okay? Try the next problem here. Okay, so try this next problem for those who have already solved the first one. Okay, now for the rest of you, let's look at it, right? So you're asked to find the numbers. As soon as you're given right, you're asked to find the numbers, just call them X and Y, okay? And the sum of these two numbers is 41. So you're just gonna write this down as sum. Remember, the sum, the meaning of sum is X plus Y, right? So now the X plus Y is 41. That's all it's saying, right? And now the larger number is 1 less than twice the smaller number, right? Remember, it's 1 less than twice the smaller number, okay? So what do you do now? So the larger number is, let's the larger number be X, right? Is 1 is equal to 1 less than twice the smaller number, like this. Okay, right? It's not less than the smaller number, it's less than twice the smaller number. Okay, so is equal to 1 less than twice the smaller number, right? Now you can just substitute this guy inside here, right? So you're gonna substitute X, right inside here, right? That's system of linear equations. We did that just last time, okay? Once again, folks, system of equations was over here. We covered that. And this is basically what we're doing, right? We are in a circle over here. We complete the system of equations. Then we move on to another topic. We are here, right? So you can join the session anytime, right? You can join the session anytime. Well done to me. So people are solving this problem. I know it's a bit confusing. So be careful. The larger number is, this is 1 less than twice the smaller number. So is equal to 1 less than twice the smaller number, right? And now you can solve it, just substitute it inside here, right? You substitute this value in right over here. So now what do you get? So you substitute it, you get 2y minus 1 in place of the x, yes, plus y is equal to 42, right? And I'm gonna squeeze this a little bit so we can, the other people can solve this problem. But I think you guys should pay attention, because many of you are smart, but you are a little bit hasty, right? You're a bit hasty. That's the reason why I've chosen these problems for you, right? So I know you can do it, but remember, that's how the SAT gets you, right? Less than twice, not just a smaller number. So now what do? Now you can solve it. Now it's easy, 2y. Now here you gotta group them together. So 2y plus y is 3y, right? Minus 1, right? Is equal to 42. Right? So you get something like this over here. And then you're going to be able to, sorry, it's equal to 41, my bad. I copied it wrong, right? My bad over here. So that's 41, right? I'm just copying this over here, right? And now is equal to 41 over here, right? I'm just grouping this, and now I add 1 to both sides, right? So you get 3y, and this cancels out, is equal to 42, right? And so y is equal to 42 over 6, right? Sorry, 42 over 3. Where's my mind today? 42 over 6, right? And so that's going to be 14, right? 42 over 6, 3. You do this one over here, and then you get 14 over here, right? So 42 over 3. And this is a calculator section problem, so you can just use your calculator, and y is equal to 14, right? And now you can find the other number, right? The sum is equal to 41, so you can put it inside here, right? So because x plus y is 41 and y is 14, right? So x plus 14 is 41, and so x is equal to 41 minus 14, right? That's 27. So I know this problem is tricky, right? The way they've written it, twice the smaller number. So you got to do it this way, okay? Now let's think about these two numbers here, right? The sum of two numbers is 41. I always check the answers. I always check what I get. So 14 plus 27 is 41. That's perfect. And then the larger number, 27, right, is 1 less than twice the smaller number, less than twice 14, right? Twice of 14 is 28. If you're having trouble with understanding these word problems, just think about money, right? So think about it, is $1 less than this, right? Is $1 less means you got to subtract 1, right? So the larger number is $1 less than the smaller number, twice the smaller number. So that's why it's $1 less than $28, and that's why it's 27, which checks out, right? So everything checks out. That's how you got to solve it. Okay, so this is a slightly complicated problem. For those of you who want it, right, we can talk about it, but I think you should just focus on the next part, right? So these are the problems, right? Remember, these are not very easy. They're kind of tricky problems for a reason, right? So let's actually, let me just talk about this one real quick, okay? Let's just set this equation, right? Let's set it, let's not solve it, okay? Let's just set it. Let's just set it up, okay? So there are two numbers whose sum is 53, right? So they're asking you, what are the numbers? I always kind of look at the starting and the end of the, I always look at the end of the question, right? And then they're asking, what are the numbers? How many numbers? They're probably two numbers. Maybe there might be one more, but there's only two numbers. So I always call them X and Y. Well done, CG. All right. Did you check what you got, CG, this time? All right. Please check if you got it. I think you got it right. I think you got it right. So well done, Javina, CG, Joel, excellent. All right, people are getting this now. So what are the two numbers, X and Y? Please plug your numbers in and check if you get it, right? So there are two numbers whose sum is 53. So we're gonna write this down. X plus Y is 53. And now I'm gonna show you a quick trick. What I do sometimes, folks, is I have this pencil, right? You're gonna take the test, right? You're gonna use your pencil. I kind of cancel this out. I put a line over here very faintly, just in my mind that I've used this information. I'm done with it. I'm never going to use it again, right? I've written it down. This is what this means. So it saves me time. Then I move to the next part. And this is so useful for other problems, okay? So 3 times the smaller number is equal to, right? So let's come back here. So 3 times the smaller number. So it doesn't matter. Just take X to be the smaller number. So 3 times X, right? 3 times X, what does that mean? 3X, right, is equal to, that's easy, is equal means equals, right? 19 more, that means $19 more. Think about $19 more. $19 more means you add it, right? I've got $19 more than 100. You add 19 to 100, right? The same way, 19 more than the larger number, there's only another number left, which is Y, right? These are the two equations, right? And for those of you for whom this is a trial session, remember, we've already solved this, right? Well done, Blessing, Safias, excellent. We've already solved these type of problems just, when was it? Just on Wednesday, I believe, or was it Monday? So we've just solved these. These are, of course, system of equations, right? We've got a whole topic on this, right? So that's important. And then you can solve it to get the answer and write the answers 18 and 35 over here, right? So perfect. Well done. Well done. So excellent job, guys, who solved it. Takes time, takes patience. What I'm going to do is we've got a set of problems here, right? So this is the practice set, okay, of word problems. And these are, of course, not SAT, but the remaining are SAT over here. I'm going to send these practice problems to you and the answer key. And I would suggest that all of you please solve some of these problems, right? These are super important. All of these, remember, we've solved the first one and we've solved the second one, and I've showed you how to solve the third one, right? So there's tons of these problems here. I think you should solve them. I think you should solve all of these problems because these are all word problems, okay? If we have time, maybe we'll cover one more later. This problem number 10 is superb, okay? You need to solve this, you need to understand. It's very easy to understand once you use the method that I've told you, okay? So now let's move on. Again, this is a word problem series, right? Word problem session. So we are kind of combining all of the topics that we did before and only looking at the word problem sections of it, okay? So right now, yes, Jasmine, yes. I will send it to the people who are doing the free session as well. Yes, and if I don't, please remind me, but usually I send it to everybody. So that's the benefit, guys. Who are who are part of my boot camp, right? They get all of these problems. Like I've got problems like this. I've got problems like this. I've got problems for linear equations, which we were doing just recently. And all of them, I'll just show you the linear equations, which is a super important part of the SAT. All of these are SAT related problems, right? They're actually from SAT practice tests, other tests which are publicly available, right? We are just working off of these problems, right? It's not like you're looking at some problem some guy invented. These are all of the problems from the SAT, and I'm going to show you how to solve every single one of them, right? Or at least 80% of them. And once you understand how to solve it, you can solve everything else. So there's one for linear equations, there's one for quadratics, right? So there's tons of problems over here for you to solve. And those who are part of my bootcamp, they get every single one of them, right? And they learn how to solve these, okay? So let's move on now. Let's go to algebra, interpreting linear equations, okay? And this is yet another topic we did before, okay? So, but let's see how we can do it this time, okay? Before this, let me just show you this one idea about linear equations, okay? And this is for those people who might have missed the linear equations or finding it hard, okay? Think about it this way, okay? Let's say a dog, right? This is a really bad picture of a dog. All right, this dog is born, right? And the height of the dog, it's a mini dog, right? Maybe it's like, I don't know, like 5 inches maybe, right? The height of a dog at age equal to 0, because he's born, right? Age equal to 0 is 5, okay? The height is 5 when his age is 0. I'm actually going to put this here. Maybe I'll just move everything over here. Okay, so when his age is 0, his height is 5. Okay, now what's happening here is as his age increases, guys, as the age increases, his height increases by 2 inches. Okay, so it becomes 5 plus 2, right? 5 plus 2 inches.